This is WGAL News 8 at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Janelle Stelson.
And I'm Ron Martin. We continue to follow breaking news out of Harrisburg. A support wall has given way near the Mulberry Street Bridge, sending a car crashing onto the roof of a building.
News 8's Matt Barquero is live from the scene.
This is a wild situation that police and engineers are still trying to figure out exactly why it happened, but you can see up there all of that dirt. There used to be a big concrete wall there, but for some reason it gave way and fell off that cliff along with a car that had to be parked, that also was parked in that parking lot. This is the Mulberry Street Bridge right underneath Cameron Street in Harrisburg, and for whatever reason, as we were saying, that fell all the way down onto a building. Now the building below is Howard Tire and Auto. They were just about to close for the day when all of this happened and the earth shook. And we're joined live by Howard, who was in the building at the time. What happened?
Well, there's just an enormous crash. I mean, it just shook the whole ground like there was an earthquake taking place. And we all asked, what was that? And so we all went running outside to see this big cloud of smoke, and nobody realized that the wall had fallen. And when we rounded the building and saw that that is what happened, I called everybody away. They started to run towards it. And I'm like, no, come back, come away from it. And when we opened the side door to my warehouse, it was completely collapsed in.
And that's
debris everywhere.
A lot of concrete, a lot of dirt, a car. That's a lot of material.
A lot of weight. Unbelievable.
So it collapsed onto the tire warehouse, and you were telling me that people walk in and out of there all day.
All day long. It was just by happenstance that nobody would have been in there. I mean, it was God, really.
Wow.
It was amazing.
It's an incredible situation.
Yeah.
And as we speak, right up there, next to that big building is some apartments. And so police are going into there now and making sure no one's inside, and if there is anyone, to make sure they're evacuating now, because they don't know what the stability factor is in that cliff. You can obviously see that all the dirt is still there. So that's what's going on above. Down below, you can see there's a lot of fighters. The mayor is here as well, getting a handle on the situation. And as soon as we get more, we'll certainly update you. That's the situation here live in Harrisburg. Matt Barquero, News 8.
Looking live in Harrisburg, where a portion of a parking lot has collapsed near the Mulberry Street Bridge, sending a car onto the roof of a building below. That building, a tire store, partially collapsed. We are told there's also damage to at least 3 other buildings. So far, no reports of injuries. The Mulberry Street Bridge is closed, along with a portion of Cameron Street.
Well, take a look at this picture. The mayor of Harrisburg has just tweeted this picture of the parked car that fell into a building off the Mulberry Street Bridge near Cameron Street in Harrisburg. News 8's Portia Johnson's covering this story for us tonight.
Portia, what's the latest?
Well, absolutely. Well, several people have been evacuated from the McFarland building, which is up top on Mulberry Street Bridge right behind me. I was told that this collapse was a quiet one. One resident who was evacuated said that she didn't hear much of anything. Now, this happened in the parking lot of the McFarland building, and a concrete wall just kind of gave way. And I talked to a resident who lives in a different section of the same building, and she wasn't evacuated, but she says she won't go back in. Take a listen.
My children are going, and I'm just sitting here waiting to hear something from somebody.
Okay, until then?
I'll be sitting here. I'm not going in until someone says it's safe to go inside the building.
Now, right now, you're looking at a live press conference with the mayor, the fire chief, and the city engineer giving us an update on this collapse. And we have our reporter, Matt Barquero, there, and he'll give you the latest on that. But many residents are along Mulberry Street sitting outside because they can't go back in, and they've been there for at least an hour. Now, that Mulberry Street Bridge is closed as of right now, and it's closed. The Mulberry Street is closed up to Crescent Street. Now, we are told from PennDOT that they have inspected this bridge, and since the collapse was not connected to the bridge is structurally sound. Now, that's the latest. Reporting live in Harrisburg, Portia Johnson, News 8.
Before we go, we want to get an update out of Harrisburg.
Here's News 8's Matt Barquero.
We just got briefed from the Harrisburg City Mayor and the fire chief. They're telling us that what we can see, that this is still an active scene here at the base of the Mulberry Bridge. There still is dirt coming across that embankment and down onto the ground. They've also called in extra help from Lancaster and York counties to help them sift through the rubble. They do not believe that there are any injuries in this, but they just can't get to the bottom of this pile of concrete and dirt. And the building behind here, where you can see, is known to be a place where some homeless people may be living. So they're not sure if anyone was underneath that when it all came crashing down around 4:30. So this still is an active scene. They're having cadaver dogs come in just to be sure that no one is underneath there. But they're telling us that this will take a lot of time to do all this. Cameron Street is still closed, and it is expected to be closed for hours, if not well into the night. That's the latest here in Harrisburg. Matt Barquero, News 8.
Yeah, well, it will be a miracle if nobody was hurt or injured or whatever.
But so far, so good. Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you for watching News 8 at 6. NBC Nightly News is next.
We'll, of course, have the very latest on the parking lot collapse in Harrisburg coming up on News 8 at 10 and 11.